If you look at the world map today, you might notice a region in northwestern Africa called Western Sahara. This area is disputed, meaning it's not legally under the control of any single country. However, both Morocco and the partially recognized nation named the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic claims it. But why are these two countries so interested in the area, especially when much of it is dry, hot, and uninhabitable? To answer this question, we must look at the region's history. Before the European colonization of Africa began, the original inhabitants of Western Sahara were native Africans called the Kituli. Due to the challenging climate and geographic conditions, these native Africans often engage in trade with the Arabs from the northern regions, which is their primary source of income. Now, the thing to notice here is that the Arabs aren't actually interested in conquering Western Sahara due to the fact that most of its land were covered in desert and doesn't really have any potential economic values, so they trade with the people here instead. Things started to change when the Europeans arrived in Africa. During the late 19th century, when the European powers began to colonize the entire continent, the Spanish became interested in the area because of two reasons. Firstly, Western Sahara has the potential of becoming an important and useful Spanish naval base given its strategic position in the Atlantic. And secondly, at the time almost all European nations, including Spain, are competing for control over more colonies. While Western Sahara might lack natural resources, it is still large in area and there's no reason for Spain not to colonize it.
Thus, Western Sahara will be a Spanish colony for the next century.
Nevertheless, after World War II, colonial empires began to fall apart, and Spain was among them. A military organization called the Polisario Front was founded, whose purpose was to overthrow Spanish colonization and make Western Sahara an independent country. This was proven to be successful because in 1975, Spanish forces was drawn from Western Sahara after a series of unsuccessful armed conflicts and battles. Before the Spanish left, though, they signed a treaty with Mauritania and Morocco. This treaty divides the region into two halves. The northern half would be ruled by Morocco and the southern part Mauritania. This treaty, called the Madrid Accords, upset the Polisario Front since they didn't participate in negotiating the treaty, and therefore they refused to accept it. The Polisario Front declared the independence of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic in 1976. After that, war between the three countries broke out. Mauritania is the first country to withdraw the claim from Western Sahara because it doesn't have enough money and resources to war, whereas Morocco continued to fight the Polisario Front. Morocco gained control over most of Western Sahara, including major cities and resource-rich areas on the northwest, while the Polisario Front controlled the rest. After that, the war reached its deadlock. Morocco was unable to seize control over the entire region, and Polisario Front just wasn't powerful enough to get the Moroccans out of the region. The UN got involved and demanded a ceasefire. Both sides began the negotiations, and it was decided that a referendum should be held to determine the sovereignty of the region. Unfortunately, they disagreed on the eligibility of voters, and so Western Sahara would remain a disputed territory and divided till today.